Having the cage system on our side, we are able to see things a little easier. As I said before, the cage system embraces 5 areas of the neck, offering different alternatives for inversions and shapes. And that could be used over single notes, triads, chords, and scales. Every area or shape of the cage system relates with a letter, which in music terms means a note. So the way how I see cage system is divided in 3 categories. So the first category is the key you're gonna pick. The second category is about how many shapes or what shapes you wanna explore. And the third category is about the sound you wanna go for it, such as single notes, triads, chords, or scales. So in this case right here, because I'm gonna show you all the 5 areas of the neck, I'm just gonna be talking about the C in the key of C, and then we're gonna go over the 5 areas, and we're just gonna be using the single notes, which means the roots of the neck, the roots of the key, sorry. So in shape number 1 or area number 1, it brings out the image of a C chord. So this is shape number 1, and again we're talking in key of C, but imagine if we just pick a different key, and how about E flat? Position number 1 in the key of E flat would be here, or I don't know, key of G sharp would be here, or I don't know, D would be here or here. And again, because this brings that C chord shape. So moving on, the area number 2 or the shape number 2 is this. Again, we're talking about key of C. And why is that? Because it brings out the image of A chord. You know, so if I just pretend that I have a fret here, but because it's the open chord, so it kind of looks like this, you know, and then it matches. So that's why this is position number 2, the area number 2. And again, we're talking about key of C, but let's just pick a random key, key of F. What's the position 2 of in key of F? It's this, you know what I mean? So anyways, coming back, position 1, position 2, position 3, which is this one, bringing out the image of a G chord. You know, so this is position 3. And again, let's just pick a random key. What would be position 3, single notes, but in the key of A? It would be like this. So again, shape 1, shape 2, shape 3, single notes, okay? And now we're going to the most famous, the favorite shape ever, shape 4, which is this. I'm using the thumb here just because, you know, I'm just used to it, but you could just do like this. And why? Shape 4 is also the letter E, because it brings out the image of an E chord. So again, let's just pick a random key. B flat, but in shape 4. Look at this. And now we're going to the last shape, which is the area 5, or shape 5, which brings out the D chord, the image of a D chord, you know, and again you have to think like this. So coming to the key we're in, that's the area. So again, Okay, we're just talking about single notes, which is just the roots of the key that we choose. Now, because we are talking about pentatonics, right? We are going to move the subject, the third category, so forget about single notes now. Now we're just going to talk about a scale, so it's a pentatonic scale. So we're going to go over a major pentatonic and minor pentatonic, and then we're going to explore the 5 areas of the neck. But now let's just move to a different key. Let's pretend we are in key of D, right? Okay, so here are the 5 areas of the neck in the key of D, but this is single notes. We're looking for the pentatonics. So starting with the major pentatonic, this is the major pentatonic in D, but in position 1. It would be like this. That I always do whenever I'm, going with the process of the cage system, trying to build that muscle memory to me. I always, as soon as I finish playing the whole scale, I come back with a single note, so I increase my memory of where home is. Again, it's always important to remember where your points of reference are. And now moving on. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the minor pentatonic. So this is major pentatonic in key of D, position 1. And now we also have a minor pentatonic in shape 1, which is this. Now moving on. Major. Minor. Moving on to position 3, we have the major, which is this. And also the minor. We're going to the position 4, which is the most famous. The reason why I said the shape 4 in minor, it needs to be in minor. So let's start with that. And now the major pentatonic in the shape 4 is like this. Last position, we have the major pentatonic like this. And now we have the minor pentatonic like this. This exercise I'm about to show you is definitely not the most musical. It could sound very silly, but it was definitely one of the most important to me. I learned that on the first week when I was in a music school, and I would say my life as a guitar player is divided by before that exercise and after this exercise. And the reason why is whenever, I had to think of a scale, or for example, pentatonic, the only concept I had on my mind was this. Or for example, if somebody asked me, man, could you play an F major chord? I would go just to this area as a reference, or play me a C major chord, or I don't know, a B minor chord. So I was very naive of, alternatives, of inversions, and, things that I could offer as a guitar player in terms of sound, instead of just going with the most predictable sort of position. So anyways, this exercise I'm about to show you is, again, relates to the cage system that I explained previously. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab a random key. We're gonna pick a bunch of different random keys, and we're just gonna be playing single notes. We're gonna try to find all the roots of the key and play all over the neck. I'm gonna have here a drum beat for the reference, and it's up to you if you want to play, I don't know, in quarter notes, 8 notes, 16 notes. That's not the main goal here, like the rhythm variation. It's more about to bring that feeling of location, to locate yourself well. So after me practicing this exercise every day, I was able to have such a better understanding about the fretboard. I was able to connect the notes better, and anyways, I truly recommend you to spend some time with this. And I know this doesn't sound very nice, but again, if you don't feel confident enough about playing any sorts of inversions, it could be chords, scale shapes, or whatever, I recommend you to spend some time with this kind of exercise. And again, remember the 3 categories I said: the key, the shapes, and the type of sound you want to go for it. And then you could just mess around with it. But right now I'm just going to show you this exercise in single notes. So okay, I have this drum beat here, and now we're going to choose a key. Let's start with E flat. Oh, another thing, try to go with the keys that you struggle with, So for example, for me, in a standard tuning, to play in the key of E flat is kind of weird for me. So let's just mess around with this. 1, 2, 3. And now let's move to B. F. And again, you could do with single notes, even like chords, triads and things like that. I know the topic here is to mention more about pentatonics, and we're gonna actually explore this sort of mentality, this sort of spirit of connecting the neck together. But again, this is just a little reference for you in case if you don't feel secure enough about where to explore, where to master the fretboard. So start with single notes, and then you could go with different shapes and different categories for you. Alright, now that you're familiar with all the notes all over the neck, it's time to get in shape, which is the second step of the Diazotonics.